everyone, it's Steph from Host Agency Reviews. I wanted to do a quick run through on how the Disney World planning and booking checklist form works. So this is what the checklist and form looks like, and it's going to be non-consumer facing, which means your clients aren't going to be seeing. This is just for agents to record all the information for the client's travel and the reservation process. So one thing to mention in the very beginning is this form was built through Cognito Forms, which has free programs, but in order to utilize some of the more handy features for this form, you would actually have to get the paid version. We tried to do it without, but unfortunately we couldn't. So the two features that if you're looking to have these and you'll need to pay for will be if you want the save and resume feature, and also if you want to be able to send yourself the entries, which I'll show you in just a second. So this is how the form works, and this is what it looks like. You can enter your client's information, and all of this information, we've just built a base of a template for you. And from that, you can build off of it, or you can take away, you can adjust it to whatever works for your agency. So there's 8 different pages. You can also ask the age of your clients, the date of the initial conversation. You can get if there's anything special for the trip if they're going on a family reunion. Now we're going into the actual booking process here with the resort. So let's say that they're looking at some value resorts, and there's conditional logic built into these. So Mary's built it so that, say, when you press value resorts, it's going to ask you which value resorts they're interested in. Let's say they're interested in very value in the campsites at Fort Wilderness. Well, would your client like a golf cart? Yes or no? All right, what day would we like the golf cart rental? So there's a lot of useful information in here. And as you're going along with these reservations for dining and lodging, we also have our early reservation booking calculator, which is, if you haven't actually used it, it's a very handy tool for booking Disney. So all you have to do is click on this link, put your client's arrival date, and it will spit out the different dates where you're able to book things. Now, it's not just Disney World on here, which is nice. It also has Disneyland and Disney Cruise, how often you're able to book things out. So you can mark those on your calendar to contact the clients and make those reservations. Now, jumping back to our form, with the Disney dining plans, it has information on here so you can select which ones they're interested in. And same goes for events and activities. If they're wanting to do a marathon for some odd reason while they're on vacation, you can go ahead and select that. There's FastPass Plus information on here for up to, I believe, 5 days. Yes. And you can always add or delete more days. Again, this is a customizable form. And the final checklist, whatever your booking process is with clients and follow through with them, you can make sure that with this reservation, the air has been booked, that you've sent your thank you, that you've made their resort and dining reservations. And then this is where it comes into, again, those 2 paid features that we had talked about earlier. So if you didn't want to do the paid feature, you wouldn't be able to save and come back to this form. You'd have to input all the information. But you can go ahead and press save. And when you do this, you can have your link emailed to you. Otherwise, you can copy and paste this form and keep it for later on. All right, so now that we've gone ahead and we've gone through the form and you know what's included in the form, let's figure out how to make it your own. So, and really quickly before we move on, we are not on the front lines for booking Disney, so this information at the date of publication was accurate. But things change, and so if there's anything that we're missing or anything that has changed, if you can drop us a line at hello@Host Agency Reviews and let us know any suggestions or anything that needs to be changed, we'd really appreciate it and help us keep it up to date for all agents so that everyone can benefit from this.
So now we're going to move into customizing the form. So if you'd like to follow along, just click the link on the screen and this will take you to the Host Agency Reviews shared template page.
Now we have more than one shared template. We want to do the Disney World planning and booking checklist. Now what we're going to do is preview it, which will take you to this so you can see what it looks like again. And if you're ready to try it out for some of the features again, you will need to pay the $10 a month. which I'll just really quickly say it's $120 a year, but if you think of how much time savings it is for inputting this information, and it's really a low cost for all of that. Now we've entered into Cognito Form's Disney World Planning and Booking Checklist. Now what it's done is essentially it's gone from taking the template from our account at Host Agency Reviews and copied it over to your account. You haven't created an account yet, but you will shortly. So let's say you're going through this and we want to make some changes. We want to add a confirmation number here after the primary contact. And we'll go in and we'll add a text box field and we'll label it confirmation number. And we'll go ahead and we'll save that. Now this is where you're going to, if you have an account, log in, and if you don't, you're going to sign up because it needs to tie this new template to you. So I'm going to go ahead and log in because I already have an account. All right, so now it's saving that template where we've just added our confirmation number to make it our own. And we'll go into our form again. Now it's going to remind us that we have two features in this form that with our current account, we're not able to access. And again, that's the save and resume, which is really handy because as you're going through the booking process, you're not going to have all that information all at once. So it's nice to be able to save it and come back and add it. And the entry sharing where you can, that one isn't as important, but it's still nice to have. So you could either upgrade now or you can press OK. And as you're going through this and making this your own, let's say, so there's three areas up here, the build, the publish, and the entries. So building is where we're editing it. Here's the actual form in the different fields. And off to the left-hand side is kind of the area where you can edit those different areas. So let's go into the publish form. And you can also style an editor in here. So if you wanted to get rid of the Host Agency Review logo and add your own, change the colors, you can do that in here. In the entries, we don't have any entries yet, but this is where you're going to see all of your clients' information. And so you'll be able to export this information in an Excel sheet. So you'll be able to sort it and do all sorts of different things. Now, the other thing to mention is, oops. Down here, there's a couple other areas. So the submission settings, you probably don't need this area because if you want to sign up for any of our newsletters or listen to our podcast, you can do that. But you could go ahead and delete this because you're not sending that to anyone. And you do probably want to get some notification emails. So right now we have the subject line as Disney World Planning, Booking, and Checklist, and then the primary contact's name. And maybe we want to add the confirmation number here too. And you can also include the entry details, so that way you'll have a, when it's a finalized form, if you wanted to have that in your emails to easily search, you could do that. There's a lot of different things you can play around with in here, which we won't go over, but know that it is available. And then you'll want to put your email here. All right, so that's about it for the forms. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Again, it's hello@hostagencyreviews.com. And we hope you guys enjoy the Disney World Planning and Booking form. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you guys soon.